Hey everybody, welcome back. Hello, hola, bonjour, dobre utra, zdravstvucie. Hey, we're out at the Provincial Park, Hemer Provincial Park actually, and it's only about 3 miles from my house, which is really nice because it has a whole lot of interlocking different trails and some loops. And you can do short loops, you can do long loops, and there is an amazing diversity of wildlife and wild forageables out here. So let's see what we can see. Look at this. This big old cedar tree, western red, Thuja plicata. And this branch tried growing out when it was young. It's pointing down, and they always want to reorient themselves so that they're vertical. Just absolutely amazing. And it looks like a very nice seat, but I think you'd have to be probably about 8 feet tall to get your tuchus up there. But very cool. Nice resting place. I absolutely love the forest. It's the only place where I find zen, or peace as it were. And yeah, this is a public park, so you do see the odd person coming through, but that's okay. Do the odd meet and greet. And little dog's always with me, and quite often people are walking their pups out here. So, you know, they always want to exchange business cards, as it were. One thing when you're out in the forest and you're looking for, say, mushrooms, like we are today, you really have to sometimes stop, take a look around, because they're so hidden most of the time, and other times they're just right in your face. It's like, wow. Can you see on that one tree right in the center of the screen, those two big conchs? Look at those things, they're monsters. Alright, see, so this is what I mean. You have to not just go by the trail side indicators. You have to look around. Sometimes you have to stop. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of bushwhacking. And that's what we're going to do to get to these guys. Alright, so bear with me here. I'm an old guy with a fake hip, so let's see if we can manage to get through here to see what these guys are. Because they're just absolute monsters. Okay. If you see me do a tumble, don't fear. It happens almost every day. Oh my goodness. I don't believe it. Those are Rishis. Look at the size of these monsters. Oh my god, they're beautiful. Oh, okay, look at, this is my hand. Look at the size of this thing. It's ridiculous. This thing's got to be, from here to here, it's got to be 12, 13 inches. Wow. And here's its sister. Look at these beautiful things. Well, I'm not going to go into them, their attributes and whatnot, because we already did that on episode 5 of Totally Amazing Mushrooms. And if you want to know more about them, you can go back and take a boo at that. But just a short little thing here. They were used as an elixir, and they called it the elixir of immortality. These guys, obviously they've had slugs or something chewing on it, but their flesh is very soft when this white. Look at that, it just, you barely touch it. Typical Ganoderma. These are amazing. Look at the size of this one too. I mean, my goodness. Now, I mean, I could harvest these guys, but they're so huge. That's more than what I would actually need. And I don't want to hack off half of one. Oh, and right below it, look at this. Here's a last year's one. Wow, you can see that this beautiful, shiny, lacquered looking surface turns into this. And it actually, oh yeah, you can lift it up. And it's inhabited by all kinds of little critters under there. But this one's, like I say, last year's by the looks of it. Wow, there's another small one right there from last year. But these ones, dun 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 dun. Wow, I can't get enough of these. You know, I've been trying to find the Rishis for so long, and then I found that one the other day, and now it seems like I see them everywhere. It's like, say you go out and buy a, I don't know, a Honda Civic, and then the next month all you see on the road are Honda Civics. Wow. Just so beautiful. Okay, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me yap about these things, but just monsters. Look at that. Oh, this beauty. This looks like it was hit by lightning at one point in its lifespan, and then it's all rotted out and hollowed, and I'm sure that there's probably, well, it's pretty dark in there. I'm assuming that there's probably squirrels or some other kind of critter that's living in it. Looks like it was maybe occupied by woodpeckers at one time. Yes, nature. Isn't it amazing? Sometimes you even have to get off the beaten path and just go and take a look around, because you never know what you're going to find. And of course, these yellow leaves that are starting to fall make it a little more difficult to spot things, but you just never know. You just got to look around, get under the undergrowth, and see? Look at this. Look at that guy. That's the black-footed polypore, Pispis badas. This little fella has had lots of different names, Royoporus, Polyoporus, Badius, but this guy has been deemed Pispis badius, and not everybody recognizes that name, but that's okay. These guys aren't edible. They've got very leathery kind of cap. It's just not palatable. But these guys have polysaccharides in them, and these polysaccharides are antibacterial, they're antioxidant, and I believe that they're also somewhat anti-cancerous. But one of the big things that they've discovered with these is they modulate the immune system, which is amazing because, you know, we really, our immune system sometimes get bogged down. And sometimes they're overactive, and these will modulate them until we're just in the happy medium, the Goldilocks zone, as it were. But yeah, they've been doing lots of testing on a lot of the polypore mushrooms lately, because they're finding just amazing things with them. Yeah, very cool. Alright, let's see what else is out here. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we have... sorry, I gotta get through this tree to get to them. These are the true turkey tails, Trametes versicolor. Now these guys will modulate your immune system as well. They have been totally tested, and they are anti-cancerous, they're anti-inflammatory, they're antioxidants, and they're polysaccharides that are in them, they're actually protect your brain, believe it or not. So yeah, very cool. Look at the beautiful concentric rings on them. And we'll go to the underside of them. You can see their polypores, and they're just going nuts on this old dead alder, Alnus rubra. Yeah, these guys have been studied so much in cancer treatments and whatnot, and which is why it's spurred the scientists to go and start checking out the other bracket fungus and see what goodies they have in them. Oh, a couple of little spiders here just saying hi. Hey fellas, don't land on my head please. Alright, let's Scooby-Doo on down the trail, see what else we can find. And look at how much potential there is for mushrooms in here. All these fallen logs that have come across the trail, and of course the city of Nanaimo has chopped off the ends so that we can actually get through very nicely and easily. But these guys are going to be inhabited by all kinds of conchs and different mushrooms. I'm really hoping to find some capnoides, some Hyphiloma capnoides, but I don't usually see them around here. They're normally further up in the foothills. And we're pretty close to sea level down here. But eventually these logs will disappear because all of the mycelium of the mushrooms will chow them down, and they'll eventually get turned into humus by all the microorganisms and whatnot, and new plants, trees, and mushrooms can grow. Yeah, so this is Hemer Lake, and it's about, I'm thinking about 8 to 10 times the size of my lake. And the funny thing is my little lake feeds into this lake. Now it does have also several different streams coming in, feeding it, but yeah, absolutely amazing. Beautiful lake. A little bit of wind, just putting a few ripples out there today. Very nice. Here's another thing you always want to watch out for. You can't be looking up and looking off into the bush all the time. You do have to look down once in a while, or you're going to trip over one of these massive roots from one of these beautiful dugs. Yeah, lots of tripping hazards. Be careful out there, my friends. So this is what I mean when I say that you really have to keep your eyes open. It's these little tiny guys that are inhabiting this fir cone. These are the fir cone mushrooms, Strobilurus trellisatus. And their little mycelium are going to run all through this cone here. And you're going to 90% of the time find them on fir cones, like Doug fir cones. They will be on some other cones. And you might find them sometimes on woody debris out in the forest and whatnot. But these guys will inhabit these cones, and this is one of their favorite places to be. There's a couple other mushrooms that like their cones. There's a toothed mushroom, Arscalpium vulgare. That's another one that likes the fir cones. We might even come across one because it's getting close to the time that they should be coming out. Always neat seeing these old rock formations. Slowly degraded over time. Rocks have fallen down. Nice little shelf there. You could actually make a pretty good lean-to off the side of this one. Sweet. Okay, this is really, really neat. We have a bunch of different mushrooms all in one little area. Completely different, completely different. Alright, so we're going to start right down here. Look at these guys. These are the false turkey tails, Sterium hirsutum. And they do like to fuse together. You know, you'll see that this guy here is all fused up. There's a couple other ones that are fusing here together. So they've got a white spore print, but you'd think that they're a polypore. They're not. They're actually a crust fungus, and the underside is completely smooth. There's no pore surface there. So as I said, they have been doing a lot of research on a lot of the brackets, the crusts, and conchs and whatnot. And they found that the hirsutum here actually has a blood thinner that they can use in people to replace warfarin. But they've actually found also that they have antioxidant properties as well. And to some extent, some success with tuberculosis. So there's some amazing facts about this little crust fungus here. And they're really beautiful too. They look very much like the turkey tail, which is why they're called the false turkey tail. So yeah, and these guys are inhabiting an old log here, and it's maple. So they like their hardwoods. Now we're going to go right over here to this guy. Now this guy likes conifers. This is Trichaptum abietnum, or the purple pore bracket. These guys quite often are going to get this green algae on them. So what they found with these guys is that these stimulate the immune system. So that's, you know, your immune system's lagging or whatever, and you don't maybe have the macrophages you're supposed to have, and make some tea out of this and it'd probably help you out. It's also got anti-inflammatory properties and cancer growth. So these guys actually have really amazing similarities to other mushrooms and stuff like that. And one of the ones is the Ganoderma applanatum. And surprisingly enough, if I don't trip and fall on my face, just over here, I saw the Ganoderma applanatum. And these guys are, as I'd mentioned in episode 5 of Totally Amazing Mushrooms, these guys are related to the Rishi, which are also Ganoderma, but Ganoderma oregonensis. So pretty much everything that I said about the Trichaptum abiatinum, you can say the same things about these, except I don't believe they have as much anti-inflammatory properties. But these guys are the artist conch, and you can literally, see, I can just make a line there. You can see in the back here how these little tubes, those are actually their pores and making up the polypore surface. But if you see these ones, they just look like little dots, because you're looking at these ones or on the end, from the end, and these guys you're looking at from the side view. So you can see they're tiny little tubies. Beautiful. And they're absolutely devouring this log. This is a big Acer macrophyllum. The big leaf maple. Yeah. Gotta love it. I barely, I turn around and there's 3 mushrooms right there, so that's pretty cool. Alright, well, we're gonna carry on to the next. Or at least we're gonna carry on to see what else we can see. Hello, my little puppy chow. Sniffing the air. She goes, oh, there's something out there, Papa. I know there's something out there. Well, let's find out. Let's keep walking down the trail. Yeah, see, this is what I mean by the little side trails. They're just awesome. You got these. Oh, here we go. See? This is what I've been trying to say. Is you keep your eyes open. Look at these blue mushrooms. This is the green elf cap mushroom, or the blue green cap mushroom. This is Chlorosoboria aeruginoescens. Yeah, wow. These guys, that blue color, their mycelium runs all through this wood. And they use this wood in any kind of woodworkings and stuff. But they've been using it all the way back to the 14th century in Italy. They used it for inlay. The wood, because it stains this beautiful, beautiful blue. Now what they've been finding about these guys is that blue is, it's called cyanidine, and this stuff they can actually use as organic semiconductors. See, they're just doing leaps and bounds in the science communities with the fungus. Just amazing. And they also found that it's got photoluminescent properties as well. And they've been able to extract it and use it in like labels and stuff. I would say something like when you're on an airplane and they shut the lights out and you can see that the floor is lit up with those little fluorescent lights. So yeah, here's an organic way of doing the same thing. I would assume that they would probably have to harvest a whole swack of the mycelium. But yeah, just beautiful. I'm going to pick this up and see if I can get a little closer look. Ouch! Without getting skewered. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, man. I love nature. Just gorgeous. You don't normally see a big, thick gathering of these guys. This is the equisetum, the horsetail, and they're all separated. They're very, very high in silicates, and they can do wonderful things for your skin. And they are high in oxalates as well, which can, if you've got a tendency to get kidney stones, those will actually increase your chances of getting kidney stones. So you want to do these in, just small amounts. But really, really healthy for you. Like I say, the silicates are really high. They're high in other things too, but that's the highest one. You can actually make the stuff into toothpaste if you want. I guess even, it's so, you can hear it. it's quite coarse and gritty, as it were. Yeah, amazing. In Germany, they call it Zinnkraut, or tin herb, and the ancient Chinese used it for doing their final sanding in wood. They'd dry it out, and it was so abrasive that it did amazing jobs and did beautiful things. Yeah, just a little bit of information about some of the fauna out here in Hemer Park. Okay, so this is that marshy little swampy spot I was telling you about. Pretty green, and I can see why Hemer Lake is actually on the green side. Probably lots of algae growing in here, and wow, you want to talk green. That's actually not algae. That's looks like watercress or some kind of water plant. Goes all the way through, kind of like Jurassic Park. What a vibrant green, though. All right, let's get you over to the lookout. And here's a nice little lookout. Look out! Get down! We've got to get out of here! We've got to leave now! Yeah, awesome. I just love what they do with our parks. They just make everything so accessible and so comfortable. Absolutely wild. And there are apparently turtles in here. The western painted turtle. Apparently, they're needing some help with their conservation. There's another Dyer's Polypore, Phaeola schweinitzii. Fairly young. It's still kind of in its globular state. It'll soon turn into shelves. Oh, there's another little tiny one just starting right there. Wow. Oh, very cool. Wonder if there's anything around the backside. No, but you can see all the damage that they've done to this stump. Well, them and other fungus, of course. Yeah. So that's the sign of brown rot decayers. They leave this cubical material, which is actually oxidized lignin. So yeah, it's normally white, but when it oxidizes, it turns this orange color. And this is what brown rot decayers do to these. And eventually, this will all turn into dirt, get inhabited by bugs, and other things will grow into it. Beautiful. Moving on. Here's another one we featured on the last Totally Amazing Mushrooms. Here's the Leptoporus molus. More of those pink sherbets. Pretty neat. There's a big flush of them. Still turning pink. They go through different color changes throughout their life cycle. Yeah, there's another set right here. Wow, really neat. Alright, that's it for another episode of Totally Amazing Mushrooms. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button and the notification button, because we have a bunch of other videos coming out. We've got some more totally wild food, we have more totally wild mushrooms, and we have more closer walks with Toe. So, I'll see you next time, my friends. Stay safe out there.